whether I stay 1 year or 2 years, I want to go to the NBA and be an NBA point guard.
Devin Ryan Askew, born July 26, 2002. They say good things come to those who wait. Well, in sports, specifically basketball, that idea is very tricky when you factor in everything that's at stake on the ultra-competitive journey to the NBA. Don't get me wrong, nothing's degrading about making it to any pro level of basketball, but for every hooper, the goal is to one day play in the league. But timing is everything, and a lot of other factors have to fall into place in order to get that opportunity. Devin Askew is the perfect example. Leaving high school, he was ahead of the curve, reclassifying to an earlier class and enrolling at Kentucky after just turning 18 years old. What was supposed to be his senior year, he was instead the starting point guard for the most recognized school in the country, who all eyes are focused on because of their past success team-wise and filtering players from all positions into the NBA. At that point, all signs pointed up for Askew, a top 10 point guard in the nation and Jordan Brand Classic participant. But a school like Kentucky is a very difficult program to play for if you're not absolutely ready for all the pressures that come with it, not just from an on-court competitive standpoint, but every day from a guy like John Calipari that lets his kids know before even signing that nothing is promised, and if you can't take the heat in his kitchen, don't even bother. Many athletes respect that and welcome the challenge, and some sink under the pressure and are never heard from again. Devin also dealt with the elephant in the room that playing extended years for Kentucky is a rare thing for point guards, so getting the job done on time, which usually means the first year, is crucial because of how well they recruit and reload every year with the nation's best at the position. Sounds like a lot? Well, how about a global pandemic hitting and completely throwing your rhythm off in that pivotal first year where under your leadership, the team went 9-16 on the season after winning 26 games the year before and 26 after. Askew took a lot of the blame being the point guard and decided to transfer to Texas, where he had an even worse season than the year before, having his minutes cut in half on a good Texas team that went to the second round. After just 34 games, he transfers a second time to a lesser level of competition at California and won only 3 games this time as the team's point guard, while playing only 13 games before an injury forced him to shut it down. The next year, which was supposed to be his senior season, he lasted just 6 games before another injury sidelined him again. He then transfers to his 4th school in 5 years for the upcoming 24-25 season for one final shot at hearing his name called in the draft or being signed by an NBA team. He had all the opportunity in the world, well, kinda, but for these reasons, his growth was stunted. What happened? Let's talk about it. Salute to Kofi P on IG for this request. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Devin Askew is a 6'3" point guard from Santa Ana, California that was a multi-sport athlete, deciding to stick with basketball in high school and became the starter for Mater Dei his sophomore year. As a junior, he really began turning heads, finishing the season named the Orange County Player of the Year and League MVP, averaging 17 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. He decided to reclassify from the 2021 class to 2020 and sign with Kentucky. He left school an honor roll student and received lots of comparisons to Trae Young in appearance and crafty game style. Things immediately went negative at Kentucky after about 7 games, where it was clear this team was likely going nowhere, losing 6 of those 7 against schools like Kansas, Louisville, and North Carolina. Stunt number 1, reclassifying and Kentucky. As stated and underrated, timing is everything. I feel for Devin Askew because after his junior year, all signs were pointing to leaving high school a year early being the correct decision. But in hindsight, it wasn't his time. First of all, he wouldn't have been caught in the dreaded 2020-2021 basketball season, instead the 21-22 season as a true freshman, and maybe things turn out a little different. Also, I've never been a fan of the reclassifying route unless the player is clearly not just ready for the NCAA, but is just about ready to play in the NBA as well. Askew benefited heavily from the Trae Young hysteria around the time, being compared to the all-star point guard left and right, and also things falling into place to even be able to receive an offer from Kentucky to come in as their starting point guard. Kentucky was actually really high on Cade Cunningham that year, and it's rumored that he even gave a verbal to Calipari and the coaching staff before his brother landed an assistant coaching job with Oklahoma State, causing Cade to sign with them instead. It left Kentucky scrambling to fill the position, and they threw everything at four-star Devin Askew, highly sought after, who at the time was the best available point guard yet to sign. But when Askew got to Kentucky, he joined a team with 4 total future NBA players, including freshman Brandon Boston and top 10 center Isaiah Jackson, not to mention senior point guard Davion Mintz, who led the team along with Boston in scoring. Although Askew started all but 5 games, he struggled making shots from everywhere, shooting 34% from the field and 27% from 3. He averaged 2.9 assists and 2 turnovers as well, and wasn't able to lead the team to much winning, losing 13 of their first 20 games. Unfortunately, sometimes a player meets a stage too big for his skills to shine through, and that was the case in him choosing a school like Kentucky. A senior year to develop and a school on a lower level he could shine from the start would have changed everything. Stunt number 2, first significant injury. Everything mentioned led Askew to transferring after 1 year at UK, realizing the reload was coming with 5-star Ty Washington likely to command minutes at his position. He tried the big-name, high-level competition school again in Texas, but that simply wasn't a good fit, seeing as he had to play behind 3 senior guards and a well-oiled machine that made it to the second round without much from Devin. He went from nearly 29 minutes per game at Kentucky to 14 minutes per game and averaged little over 2 points, still struggling from the field and 3. Maybe not good enough for the level or not given a fair opportunity in the Longhorn rotation, he decided to hit the transfer portal once again after 1 season, transferring to California for the first time, playing at a competition level more suited to his development. He had his best scoring year, leading the team with 15.5 points per game and playing over 31 minutes per. But that was the sum of only 13 games played on the year, going down with a sports hernia and forced to shut it down for rehab. Mind you, the team was one of the worst in the NCAA, winning 3 games, losing their first 12 and their last 15. In my opinion, this was a career-defining 3rd year for Askew, who was finally given the right opportunity and was playing well until his body betrayed him. In such situations, it deflates your chances of being an outright draft pick 3 years in, 3 different schools, and now a physical liability, as a sports hernia is a very serious injury that sometimes requires surgery and slows a player's development down. He stuck it out longer than he had in the past, returning to the Golden Bears for the 23-24 season, one that again would end in disappointment. Stunt number 3, second significant injury. Unfortunately, things only got worse for Askew from there. The 23-24 season rolled around and presented a situation where the year was make or break for Devin to finally show he can put 2 or 3 important elements together. Lead the team to a much better record, average expected numbers from a guy that started as a freshman at one of the biggest programs in college basketball history, and most importantly, stay healthy. The Golden Bears were a bit better, winning 13 games but still missing the tournament, and led not by Askew, but his 6'7" teammate junior guard Jalen Tyson, who averaged over 19 points per game, almost 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and played over 34 minutes per. He was selected in the 2024 NBA draft in the first round, 20th overall, picked by the Cavaliers, while Askew watched from the sidelines, injured once again, this time after just 6 games, where he had a worse season than his freshman year in points per game and 3-point shooting at 14%, not to mention another serious injury, this time to his foot. He was able to receive a medical redshirt for a 5th college season where he transferred once again to Long Beach State for the 24-25 season in, need I say, another career-defining year and one last long shot at making the NBA. He'll be 22 years old the entire season, needing a huge year in an even lesser conference where he must stay healthy and must improve the team situation, something he has yet to do as the leader of a college team. All in all, any shot is better than none at all, and I'm hoping he can stay healthy at least to finally make it through an entire season where opportunity is there on a level he's much more fit and experienced to succeed on. Wishing him nothing but a positive experience at his new school, but for these reasons, his growth was stunted. Salute, much respect, it's your boy JC Stunted Growth, and I'm out.